Perfect. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be exploring what it looks like to cultivate better connections with your customers in 2023. You may find it very easy to connect with your customers or your clients, but occasionally there are personality types that just don't match up with yours. Understanding different communication styles is an essential part of building meaningful relationships with your customers, especially when you run a small business. So in this session, I will be sharing Ruby's top tips and tricks that will help you improve your customer experience, as well as any best practice you would like to adopt for communicating effectively with your customers. We're also going to share our updated call trends data that we've analyzed from over 10 million phone calls that we handled in 2022 alone. And thank you all for joining. Randy already gave you a brief overview of myself, but I am a partner development manager here at Ruby, and we have answered over 15 million calls for our customers as a live virtual receptionist service over 20 years. And what we will be doing is talking about a few customer engagement factors that are going to help you grow your SMB customer and community. Now, to open this presentation, I have a question for the chat. How confident are you when you are engaging with your customers or your clients or your patients? Is it easy for you, or can you feel a little intimidated, maybe even a little bit tongue-tied, depending on what the customer is requesting? Or maybe the sound of your phone ringing is a trigger. It is a rush of adrenaline because you're excited to answer that call. You know it's a new opportunity for you. Or it could trigger a release of cortisol, which is more so around stress because you've just got so much going on in your day. Now, you likely know where I'm going with this question if you read the description of the event, but in order for your small business to succeed, you need to be able to connect with your customers. Our own research shows that aside from robocalls and solicitor inquiries, 92% of calls represent opportunities. They're opportunities to win, retain, lose business, improve perceptions, strengthen connections, and so much more. But we do hear feedback that some business owners find customer connection and engagement to be the most difficult aspect of running their business. The customer engagement is an important topic because it's the act of building a relationship between a company and its customers. This relationship is based on mutual trust, respect, and a shared understanding of what each party wants from one another. Now, customer engagement can be achieved through various tactics like direct interactions with your customers, real-time marketing, social media outreach, the list goes on. Today, we will touch on how customer engagement impacts the growth of your business and also how you can ensure that you're meeting customer expectations and communicating effectively. The most efficient and perhaps the most essential avenue you have towards organic business growth is simply to build meaningful connections with your existing customers and your prospects. So let's look at some numbers. 9 out of 10 calls a business receives are growth opportunities. Kind of paid homage to that in my earlier metric. 75% of organizations believe they're customer-centric, but only 30% of consumers agree. And companies that focus on customer experience are 60% more profitable. Now, if you find yourself wondering what you can do to create the best engagement with your customers, this is a great time to start taking notes. Today, we're going to talk about how you can improve customer experience and create long-lasting relationships that result in loyal customers, repeat business, and an increase in sales as we go through the impact that customer engagement has on growth, how to effectively communicate with various types of customers, and what call trends look like in 2023. If you can make the people you serve feel connected, heard, cared for, and enthusiastic about working with your business, you're gonna outperform your competition every time. So how do you make it happen? You pay attention. You pay attention to how you engage with your customers and how those interactions impact your relationship with those customers. Any interaction your customers have with your business matters, both online and offline. because it defines your success. Customer engagement is an ongoing effort to genuinely connect with your audience and build lasting relationships. You engage your customers through various channels like social media, business accounts, your blogs, ads, phone calls, emails, the list goes on. Every customer is different, and that extends to the ways they choose to interact with your business. Monitoring and optimizing your channels according to your customers' behaviors is key to capturing opportunities and improving experiences overall. Customer loyalty and repeat business is a sign of good customer engagement. If you can maintain and strengthen customer relationships, you will grow. So, what is the answer to continued success with engaging your audience when so many factors play into positive customer experience in each individual channel? Well, we can break that down to simplify. Every business will have a different answer as to how they measure their customer engagement and how successful or unsuccessful it is with their audience. And there are common methods that we can evaluate today to determine a customer's level of engagement with your business. You could track social media mentions, or if this basically means anytime someone posts on social media and it includes a reference to your brand. You could analyze email open and response rates. You could conduct feedback surveys, monitor your call metrics, and more intricate metrics like your churn rates and your conversion rates. Now, as a quick aside, in our previous Alignable event, I covered more in-depth material over how to collect customer feedback and utilize it to improve your customer experience. If you do want to go deeper into that content, that video lives on Ruby's community page, so you can watch that and learn more on specifically how to collect customer feedback. Now, the big picture we're looking at here is that when a customer experiences a smooth customer journey accompanied by quality human interaction when and if support is required, that positive customer experience will lead to higher conversion rates and repeat business, whatever your unique goal is. You may be wondering just how impactful customer experience truly is to your business. And as it turns out, it is one of the most important factors to consumers as they're making a decision of whether or not they would like to work with your business. So, for example, research from Salesforce shows 88% of customers say that the experience a company provides is as important as its products and services. From that same survey, 48% of customers cited poor customer service as their reason for switching brands. When your customer experience fails, it is imperative to understand why, especially given that younger customers tend to have a much stronger opinion about what good customer experience should look like. Now, by listening to your squeaky wheels, or the metric that desires the most attention, you can determine where there is a hiccup in your customer journey and thereby a disengaged customer. For example, if you are experiencing high call volumes, you want to have the right people and processes in place to make sure these calls are answered quickly and professionally, they're routed appropriately, and result in positive outcomes. If call volumes go down, that's an opportunity to switch your focus to your existing clients and customers, to expand into a new acquisition channel, or test a new target audience. In addition to tracking your metrics over time, it can also be helpful to compare them to industry benchmarks or best practices. This can help you identify potential areas for improvement and benchmark your performance against other companies in your own industry. Now, the quality of your service is what will set you apart from your competition, or it could be the reason you lose out to your competitors. So you want to be wary of common pitfalls that's viewing customer service and experience as a cost center rather than what it should be, a revenue generating engine for growth. Now, you may be wondering just how customer experience ties into customer engagement. Isn't customer experience something that customer service typically manages? Partly so, yes. But customer experience, which can be abbreviated to CX, is how your customer responds to your customer journey touch points from A to Z, or from discovering your business to post-service delivery or product purchase interactions. The main goal of customer experience is to improve how customers interact with your brand. There are three main components to customer experience. First component is discovery. How do they find you? This is about how companies contact customers and how they make contact relevant and meaningful. Having good discovery is all about knowing where and when to market. So at this point, you should be thinking advertisements, online presence, email campaigns, etc. Part two is engagement. This component is about how the customers interact with your company and your company products or services. Having good engagement is all about finding ways for customers to interact with products in new ways that yield new benefits. We actually polled the Alignable community to hear from you all directly, and some of the most common engagement methods mentioned were email, social media, and phone. Let's consider additional ways that could pleasantly surprise your customers. How can they reach you on social media? What social media channels are you live on? What about website chat or website forms? Are they able to text you? Do you offer contactless payments? One easy way to improve customer experience in this category is by ensuring that your customers can reach your business after hours and it's always a live person. I'm not asking you to man your phone 24/7. Trust me, I have worked as a receptionist before, and I would not want you to answer your phone at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. But a customer experience solution like Ruby or any other live receptionist service can help provide your customers with instant access to your business, and it ensures that you're not going to miss any revenue driving opportunities. Now, the third part is delivery. This component combines speed with consistency. Customers want you to deliver products and services on time and in good condition. When you evaluate these three stages of your own business, you're starting the process of learning to anticipate the needs of your customers. And as customer expectations continue to rise, consumers view their experience more important than ever. According to research by PricewaterhouseCoopers, 73% of consumers believe that customer experience, or CX, is a deciding factor when making purchasing decisions. And customer-centric companies know that solving for customer needs and exceeding expectations along the way is how to drive healthy business growth and foster good relationships with the people that their company serves. But let's take a quick step back, because maybe some folks aren't quite ready for this stage. What if you are early on in your customer engagement journey? You might be curious to know how you can boost customer engagement when you're still learning how to build your audience. Now, the good news is there are numerous strategies that small businesses can implement to improve customer engagement and drive more revenue. It depends on your experience, your audience, your goals, and quite honestly, a bit of trial and error. Now, as I mentioned, an excellent place to start is with customer feedback. Pay attention to how customers find you, where they engage with you the most currently, and how they respond to your services and products. Whether you collect feedback through surveys, you do customer interviews or online reviews, it's important to pay attention to what your customers say and make adjustments accordingly. If you need more insight, encourage your customers to leave reviews and testimonials. It is a great way to hear positive feedback that you can use to showcase the quality of your products and services. It also helps to attract new customers who seek recommendations before they even make a purchasing decision. And if you're currently paying for, or you plan to pay for, targeted advertising, be sure to consider who you need to connect with and when. Targeted ads are a wonderful way to engage with your customers. Whether you're utilizing pay-per-click ads, display ads on social media platforms, You want to be sure that you will receive the best return on your investment by targeting your ads carefully to reach the people who are most likely to engage with your brand. You also want to make sure that you have a tracking system in place so you can determine which ads are performing the best. Unfortunately, there are a ton of free resources available online that you can use to create tracking URLs so that you can know which ad was clicked upon and when. And for the customers who are past that discovery phase and they're entering into that engagement phase with the business, be sure to provide them with live, friendly customer service all of the way through their sales process. This will help to build trust early on in the relationship, as well as improve customer satisfaction. No matter what, consider the customer's experience. No matter the strategy you choose, think about what will appeal to them and make their experience with your brand more pleasant. Now, one of the most effective ways to engage with customers is by creating a customized interaction that speaks to their needs and their preferences. It's really important for a customer to feel like the brand they're shopping with offers them a personalized content feature that matches their interests, their needs, their personality. Because shoppers can control when, how, and where they engage with brands thanks to smart devices and smart marketing. When they're looking for a product or a service, chances are they will find dozens of businesses selling what they're looking for, and that is where the customer experience becomes a key differentiator. Companies can accomplish this through what's called hyper-personalization. This is using data and analytics to customize products and deals and communication channels through which they engage with customers, which creates an optimizing experience for each individual customer. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Let's take Cadbury, for example. They're known for their dairy milk chocolate. They used customer insights to create personalized video ads posted to consumer social media channels, and they achieved 65% click-through rates. You could also take, this one's one of my favorite, Trader Joe's for an example. They earned $1,750 in sales per square foot in each store, in part because they customized the store's inventory based on customer feedback. At Trader Joe's, store managers and team members will ask customers which products they prefer to use, and that feedback influences which grocery items are added or removed from each unique store. So using hyper-personalization methods can increase not only your revenue, but it increases customer loyalty to a brand and how much a customer is willing to spend during a purchase. Brands must take ownership of the customer experience and create digital experiences that consumers expect, like customer-centric ads, the opportunity to buy directly off of your website, or click to call and reach a live representative in order to capitalize on these consumer trends. Now, every interaction between a customer and your business is a chance to impress. To maximize your opportunities to provide excellent service, review your customer journey step by step and consider areas of potential improvement. Changes like reducing the number of calls that go to voicemail, ensuring that chats and social media messages are answered by a live person who can answer basic FAQs, and improving the personalization of your email communications can make a massive difference in how customers perceive and respond to your company. And we are speaking from experience. We did a recent survey of our own customers to reveal the benefits of personalized service. Our own customers reported increased productivity, better profit margins, higher customer retention rates, 20% increase in customer satisfaction, 20% increase in new business. In other words, healthy businesses and happy customers are rooted in experiences that are designed for that connection. And this is important because customer acquisition is getting harder. Paid media rules and algorithms are constantly changing. It's more expensive. Marketing costs are as high as ever. And it's becoming slightly less reliable, largely due to an increase in competition, which makes it far easier for customers to shop around. Not only that, but demographics are shifting. Younger generations are taking on more purchasing power. Now, their attitudes towards customer service takes precedence. These are generations that grew up alongside more convenient forms of communication that induce more immediate responses. From social media to website chat, these customers want access to companies on the platforms they're already used to using. Personalization is a priority. While on the rise pre-pandemic, the past few years have catapulted a shift towards more personalized relationships between brands and customers. 88% of customers are expecting a personalized experience. Customers crave personal connections and authentic experiences from companies that they do business with. Now, you have done what's needed to help customers discover your business. You've cleverly placed ads that were seen by the right type of customer and they decided to reach out. This is your first opportunity to engage with that customer directly. This is where I see some trepidation creep in for business owners who manage their own phones 24/7, 365. You love what you do, but talking with customers isn't always your favorite task. If this sounds familiar, or if you love that part of the job, but you wish you could have the skills to connect with any type of caller who reaches out, this slide is for you. It is going to be packed with tips on communication. The fact is, while it's easy to connect with some customers, some personality types just don't match with yours. The good news is with a bit of effort and the right strategies, you can turn difficult conversations into good ones. When you're considering who is handling your customer experience, you want to ensure that they can easily adapt to different customer situations that they are proficient in their ability to actively listen, de-escalate situations, and capture every unique opportunity. While every industry and business is unique, most people who contact your business want the same thing. They want to reach someone who's friendly, someone who's empathetic, and someone who is a professional that can help them. Whether you're on a phone conversation or you're doing an online chat or you're speaking face-to-face, good conversation skills equip you to establish rapport and a sense of being in this together, to foster a sense of empathy for one another, along with a greater awareness of what each other's emotional state is. Helps you to build a common understanding of context, who we are, why we're speaking, and what we hope to achieve together, and helps you to set up a solid foundation of trust that paves the way for openness and honesty. So we took details from our own training techniques for our live receptionists to share with you all today. Here are a few types of customers you might encounter and how to connect with them effectively. So type 1, we've got the talker. We all know this one. They can be the toughest type of customer because it doesn't feel like they respect your time, which is often your most valuable asset. So the strategy here, don't be afraid to cut in and assert your boundaries. Just do it with kindness. There is such a thing as a polite and strategic interruption that helps you return to the point of the conversation. So I've got some example phrases for you. You could say, sorry, can we pause for a moment? I would like to return to something you just said. Or you could say, I'm sorry, I need to interrupt to make sure we've covered everything you need before it's time for our call to end. Or if you're on a deadline, you could say, I know I'm interrupting, but I need to hop off of the phone in a few minutes. And I wanted to make sure I've answered every question you have. And if it gets to the point where you need to end the conversation, try a solid wrap-up phrase that establishes rapport with the caller and provides concrete next steps. Now, type 2 is the intimidator. This person is accustomed to having the upper hand in their relationships and conversations. They think bossing you around will get them what they want, whether that's a deal, a freebie, or something else. The intimidator's key behavior is trying to convince you that they know your business more than you do. Strategy here is identify that customer for who they are to yourself. Remain calm and hold your ground. On a call or in a conversation with an intimidator, you are your own best advocate. When someone displays bullying behavior, give yourself that internal pep talk. Okay, we've got an intimidator here. Let's turn this around. Then practice active listening, but be firm. You could say something like, thank you for expressing your thoughts about X issue, product, service, etc. I hear your frustration. But where does the firm part come in? You want to be clear on what you can and what you cannot do for them. Honesty cultivates respect. And if it doesn't, you can walk away from the conversation knowing you held your ground. Now, type 3 is the venter. The venter has something to complain about that specifically relates to your company. They enter the conversation with a negative bias. They are already expecting the experience to get worse, and they are looking for reasons to be even more frustrated. But unlike the intimidator, their goal is not to control you. The anger is coming from a genuine place. So the strategy here is to understand the why behind the anger, reflect, validate, and empathize. Anger is a natural human emotion. See it for what it is and take the frustration from the venter seriously, but not personally. Angry customers actually provide you with a business opportunity because they are fantastic at identifying pain points in your business's service or product journey. And if you really see them as that and you listen, you can make your business even better. You could interrupt with an expression of gratitude. That alone can help to reset the tone. You could say, I appreciate you taking the time to bring this issue to my attention. Or you could say, I'm really grateful that you were willing to share your frustration with me. And then continue with reflective listening. Say something like, what I'm hearing is ... If I understand you correctly, you're saying ... And if there's a pause from the customer, it is okay to embrace the silence. This is something I had to become very familiar with as an account executive. Feeling like you need to fill every silent moment in a conversation will take opportunities away from your customer to speak and to be heard. Moments of silence happen and they can be necessary. Maybe someone just needs a moment to think or reflect or carefully consider what they want to say. Embrace the opportunity to practice your active listening and show the person in the conversation that it's in their hands. You might be surprised where the conversation goes next. Customers who call or who come in to vent, they can often become your biggest champions of your business if you're able to turn that conversation around. Now, type 4 is the confused caller. If your company has recently added new products, services, or platforms, you might see an uptick in confused customers. Whether they're new or returning customer, these folks might be perfectly pleasant, or they could be a little frustrated. The strategy here is be clear and drive a solution agenda. The last thing a confused customer needs is a confused person on the other end of the phone or on the other side of the counter. First, identify and verify where there's confusion. For example, it sounds like our new scheduling platform is causing some confusion for you. Then explain your process and check in with the customer frequently. As you walk the customer through your product or service, explain what you're doing so your customer isn't left wondering what on earth is happening. Like the venter, confused customers can often provide insight into your business's blind spots. Pay attention to them. And last but not least is the pleasant customer. This customer wants to leave a review, give feedback, or even ask questions. Some people are just downright pleasant to speak with, no matter the reason for their conversation. This type of customer can still be tricky because there might still be something going on in the background. Your strategy with these customers is to give them the attention they deserve. It's easy to treat pleasant conversations with less attention, But with a little investigative work, you might uncover a way to wow this customer even more. The bottom line is that we hope all customers are lovely ones, but continue to practice those active listening skills to maximize the output of these conversations. You could say, I'm so glad I was able to help you today. Do you have a few minutes for me to walk you through how you can leave a review for us on our website? You want to look for opportunities to wow this customer and educate them about what's happening with your business, because they are inclined to grow your business through referrals. The more they know, the more likely they are to share your business with others. In fact, according to research by Nice Reply, 72% of people that have a positive customer experience will share that story with 6 or more people. The reality is that it's not all your customers, that not all of your customers are going to be happy the second you engage with them, but connecting with them where they are is one of the best ways that you can move a call or a conversation from not so pleasant to, wow, that was a great conversation. Now, we collected data from over 65 million calls that we've answered for our SMB customers from 2018 to 2022, and I'd like to draw attention to a particular type of caller, the frustrated caller. The number of frustrated callers has risen since 2018. We've seen nearly a 2% increase from 2018 to 2022, reaching a peak of 1.08% of total calls in 2021. Frustrated callers are trending higher year over year between recent supply chain issues and a change in customer expectation. There's just a lot to be explored here. All business is personal, especially when you run your own business. And it can be very hard to hear feedback when customers aren't satisfied. Even harder when you wear so many hats, you are the chief officer of everything, and you are unable to manage every single customer issue yourself. While service delivery or product sales may be the core of your business, it's easy for customer communications to get shortlisted. But this is why it's so important to build a customer service process. And if you can manage, hire or outsource a customer service representative who can make a strong first impression, offer friendly service, and most importantly, solve customer problems efficiently and effectively. Because poor customer service is costing businesses $1.6 trillion every year. There is no way to please everyone, and every business is bound to receive its fair share of unhappy customers. However, if you are seeing a higher than normal number of frustrated calls, for example, it's important to recognize that this is more reflective of your customers' needs and expectations. So make sure you're asking questions and doing everything necessary to improve your service and align on expectations so you can start minimizing these tense interactions. So what can you do when you are engaging with a frustrated customer? I've got 4 tips. Number 1, lead with empathy. Having customer conversations with an understanding and a compassionate person can change the entire tone of the customer experience and what the resolution process looks like. You can practice empathy by taking the customer's perspective, recognizing their emotions, and communicating that you understand. 2 is hone your active listening skills. More than anything, frustrated customers just want to feel heard. Shape your communications to fit the needs of your customers by focusing on what you can do for them instead of what isn't readily available or possible. Number 3, communicate clearly and with humanity. Much like the golden rule, great customer service means engaging with frustrated customers in the manner you would hope to be treated. It's not just the kind thing to do. It opens the door for clear and humane communication. Number 4 is optimize your customer service from start to finish. Customer service has always required specialized skills, but it's become extra complex in this global virtual society that's filled with advertising algorithms, customer review-based platforms, and influencers like your weird uncle who has a lot of opinions and a lot of followers. All that said, it is still possible to optimize your customer service, and it's less complicated than you might think. Consistent and meaningful customer service is an attainable goal for any business. The best way to navigate a challenging call or conversation is to just be a real person on the other end of the line, on the other side of the counter, who knows how to turn even the toughest conversations around. Whether this is someone on your team or an outsourced service or solution, you want to have the right person handling those conversations so that they can de-escalate and help that customer find a solution to their situation. Now, all of this to say, even with a rise in frustrated callers, they only represent about 1 in 100 calls. So don't be afraid to pick up your phone, especially if you pay heed to these notes and you're prepared for every type of caller. From employees to vendors to telemarketers, people of all kinds use the phone to contact businesses. For many organizations, however, the most important callers are potential patients, potential customers, or potential clients, often referred to as leads. And as the role of the phone has evolved, so has the nature of these conversations. And that's because today's consumers have more tools than ever when it comes to finding information. They've got websites, they've got live chat, they've got social media, to name only a few. You want to make it easy for people to research your business before reaching out, because when they do reach out, it's because they're ready to move forward with the conversation. When you focus on making that journey easy for your customer, you'll see an increase of your calls, the percentage of calls that comprise leads. In fact, that's been happening these past few years. The percentage of calls comprising leads has increased in most industries from, there's been a 9.6% increase between 2019 and 2022 alone. A 9.6 increase across most industries. That's phenomenal. Now, simultaneously, more and more of the calls businesses receive are likely from first-time callers. Through Ruby's research of the 65 million calls we handled from 2018 to 2022, we've seen a jump in first-time callers from 50% in 2018 to 56% in 2022. Now, the industries we've seen experiencing the greatest increase in lead generation and growth through the phone include legal, business services, financial services, manufacturing, and transportation. So what's behind these changes and how can you make it impactful in your industry? Well, in addition to more channels and self-serve options, advances in digital marketing and customer communication technology have empowered businesses to reduce the noise from callers in earlier stages of the customer journey. For example, a potential buyer can reference frequently asked questions on a company's website or contact them on social media to learn more about a service before they ever place a call. Meanwhile, the company can track and optimize that person's interactions with tools such as a customer relationship management software or your CRM tool or a virtual receptionist solution. Now, that said, due to differences in customer or client expectations, as well as the availability and adoption of these tools, the impact of phone calls varies pretty significantly across certain business sectors. An industry's overall economic health may also be a factor. In some cases, call volume can indicate whether a sector is growing or potentially experiencing a downturn. Now, after we analyze those millions of customer calls, one thing is clear: the phone remains one of the most important tools to small businesses when it comes to creating lasting connections with people they serve. That's not all we learned. We learned that today's customers are more informed than ever before, resulting in more people using the phone as the final step of their customer journey. That means your business should treat every caller as a potential prospect or as the loyal customer they already are. Make sure you have the right team and tools in place in order to capture these valuable opportunities and create moments of service excellence. We've also noticed that robocalls are unfortunately not going away. It is quite the opposite. In fact, scam calls continue to ramp up. It's up to business owners to take action and tune out that noise. Now, fortunately, there are plenty of solutions out there that help you block these unwanted calls and limit distractions. For example, you can register your phone number on the National Do Not Call list for free, or set up robocall filters with your phone provider or through whatever receptionist service provider you're working with. Also, frustrated calls may be on the rise, but they are still far from the norm. Despite what you may see in the news or on social media, most customers are just looking for support from the business they interact with. That said, it's important to know where your industry and your business stands and how you can take specific steps to improve service where it's possible. The work week also has started to change, now only by a little bit. Being there for all of your customers starts with extending businesses' availability. Make sure you have people by the phone throughout the week to answer every call, and consider investing in 24/7 support if it makes sense for your business, if you are seeing more calls come through after hours and on weekends. Now, customers are beginning to expect more around the clock service despite the size of your business. 75% of customers expect help within 5 minutes, regardless of when they reach out. You heard that correctly. Now, the last thing we notice is that seasonality is changing in certain industries. We're only just beginning to see the long-term effects of the pandemic on most industries, let alone understand all of the implications. Your business may see micro or even macro differences in busy periods compared to others in your industry. Now, right now, you can help your business meet growing demand by company industry average call volume, by comparing company average call volumes against your own, and then allocate your resources accordingly. And customer expectations are already at record highs, and they are continuing to climb. If you are a solopreneur or you have a small team, it can feel very tough to stay on top of everything between customer service, client intake, appointment scheduling, lead qualification, and everything in between. It can feel even harder to imagine doing this 24/7, 365 without a little help. But that is why Ruby is here. If you would like to join Ruby's community, we are constantly sharing our notes on how you can help your small business to be successful, always sharing tips in our Ruby community group. And I do also want to note we're going to go over some questions that I know we received in the chat. And I will leave this slide up as we go through questions just to display our special offering for everyone who was able to attend today.
Okay, actually, let's go back to the other slide, if you could, so that if people want to join. Okay, perfect. And because here's what we're going to do, because such great information was shared, we're not going to have any time for a Q&A because we want to give you time to really jump in and showcase how people can put these learnings, what you just taught us, into practice with Ruby. So I want to encourage everybody, join Ruby's community. We had some great questions. Take them over to the community and post them there. The team from Ruby will go ahead and answer them so you can get all of your questions answered. All the links that were mentioned today, we're going to send out in an email tomorrow. So you can rewatch this recording, you can join the community, you can opt in to Alignable's education so that you continue to learn and receive emails from us about joining other great webinars as well. So I'm going to have you just take right over. Go ahead and show us how people can put this into action, and also mention about the offer of Alignable members $100 off their first 3 months of Call Ruby 100 and Chat Ruby 300, 30 plans or higher.
Yes, so that typically our offer for Alignable members is $100 off, but if you are tuning into this presentation, you can receive $150 off of your first 3 months. Let me give you some background on Ruby, just so you know a little bit more about who we are and have an idea of when it's a good idea to outsource. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're missing 1 or more calls a day, you could be missing out on opportunities for your business. And if you find yourself answering calls after hours or missing important moments with your family in the name of never missing a chance to make a sale, it's a good idea to explore some options, because you deserve peace of mind. Small businesses are the backbones of their communities, but you shouldn't have to shoulder that responsibility 24/7, 365. When opportunity knocks, you should always answer the call. Aha, that is my one pun this entire presentation. I scaled it back. Now, the right virtual receptionist solution, they should generate more actionable leads for your business and help you increase customer loyalty, as well as give you time back in your day. Now, to ensure you choose the best partner, because there are multitudes of options for you out there, we did put together a list of questions that you can ask that would be important to your particular business. So, can that service answer FAQs? Maybe you need to make sure that the receptionist can speak 2 languages, that they're bilingual. Where are the receptionists based? Are they overseas? Are they in the United States? Exclusively, what does that look like? Can you control when and how you use the service? Are you going to be locked into a contract? Take into mind some of these questions as you explore your options. Now, as far as Ruby goes, our live virtual receptionist can help you win new business by ensuring that a warm, caring tone is there for anyone who calls your business. We take detailed messages. We can conduct customer intake, so you have all of the details you need to follow up effectively with a customer. We can answer FAQs based on information that we have in your profile. We can also place outbound calls. Now, we won't do outbound sales calls, but we can place outbound calls to share additional information or gather details from your customers. You can schedule quick and accurate appointments based on availability that we use through services like Calendly. Our virtual receptionists ultimately provide an exceptional customer experience that builds your reputation, will help you drive consistent business through the door with every single happy customer. And we really want to go above and beyond to wow them, which essentially means that we take the time to actually get to know your callers, anticipate their needs, and provide solutions well before they ask. The majority of our customers say that the best return on investment that they get from our receptionist service is the ability of our receptionist to wow their customers every single phone call. And we like to try and keep it easy for you as well through our handy app on your phone. We offer flexible and professional mobile solutions, so you don't have to decide between responding to a new opportunity or managing existing work. We understand the importance of being able to manage your business no matter where you are. We can host your business number from our app. We can help you turn your cell phone into a work phone without ever sharing your personal information. Through the app, you can set your call status so we know where and when you can take calls. You can control who you want to receive calls from during specific time frames. We can forward and unforward calls from your office to your cell phone with the touch of a button. Handle adding your schedule to it so we know when you're available. There's so much more. I won't spend too much more time on this, but there's just so much functionality in that little Ruby app. And these days, your online presence, as we mentioned, is a powerful growth tool. And that means you don't want to miss those opportunities that come to you online. Even if someone learns about your business through word of mouth or referral, the first thing they're likely to do whenever they want to know if they should reach out is to look at the company online. Your online presence is your new front door. Just as websites have replaced the needs for consumers to flip through physical directories, there's a better way to connect with your online visitors through a live chat feature. We answer questions that won't fall on deaf ears. I was our very first live chat receptionist. This was what I did day in and day out, holding conversations and helping to generate more leads off of your website. In fact, in our experience, we've seen that our customers who utilize the chat feature see 4.6 times, they are 4.6 times more likely to convert into customers. You save time for your business and your website visitors. Live chat specialists help you gently communicate to prospects when your services are or aren't the right fit, and they're able to save the customer's time and yours. And ultimately, your business can be there when it counts. Your business may close for the day, but live chat is going to stay open and it doesn't sleep. So if there's ever an important need that customers have, they will know that on your website, they can reach you through this chat feature. And that is the long and the short of Ruby's services between our receptionist service and our chat service. But ultimately, I just encourage you to think of us as a warm and friendly extension of your business.